I think Kerry Stokes is in many ways more interesting than Kerry Packer or Rupert Murdoch. Both of them inherited media companies, even empires, from their fathers. Kerry Stokes started with absolutely nothing. Nobody did him any favours. The title of the book says it all. He is a self-made man, and to go from really dire poverty in his childhood to being one of Australia's richest men is just by itself a fascinating story. He's an incredibly private man. There are people who've known him for years and years, working closely with him, who would still say that they don't fully know him or understand him. Very few people get inside the inner sanctum. One of the themes of the book, I think, is the role of the office, Australian Capital Equity, in helping him to manage some of the more difficult aspects of his personal life, such as his fractured relationship with his first children. He also attracts a great deal of loyalty. Those who've worked for him for a long time tend to be extremely loyal to him and to like him, generally speaking, while also being perhaps a little bemused by him sometimes. And so he has a very close and intimate network of business connections who are really a big part of how he operates in business. So he has an image, I suppose, which I think he's encouraged of the unusual media proprietor, the self-made man, sort of laconic Brian Brown of Australian media, if you like, which is not false. That's not a false image, but it's not the whole story. He is also, of course, as you'd expect, ruthless in business at times, has an extraordinary eye for a business opportunity, really quite an uncanny knack to spot a business opportunity. He was onto the Chinese boom well before most business people. When most people were still messing around with the dot-com boom and those sorts of things, Stokes was already building relationships in China. So he really does have an extraordinary nose for opportunity. People describe him as still being full of restless energy. He's not the sort of man to stand still, ever. He always is a focus of activity and very restless sort of a person. But increasingly his son Ryan, particularly, is taking more of a role in the business. I think it's fair to say that Ryan Stokes has yet to define himself in business independently of his father, and that really is going to be, I think, the next chapter of the Stokes story, whether there is succession in place and what that will look like.